Hey, beautiful souls, it's Kanisha with Peace, Love, and Faith Divine Union. I am here to teach you how to come into union with your divine lover, your twin flame, and I am also in union with my twin flame. So the things that I share with you are things that I had to test and try on my journey, my ascension journey to becoming my best self, living my life purpose, living an abundant life, and also doing it with my true twin flame. So if you like support in that, definitely check out the link below. I am doing individual coaching, but I also have group coaching if that fits better for you. And I love group coaching because whenever someone is working through something in the group, it seems like everyone else is working through if it's not the same upset, it might be in the family of that upset. And so it actually helps you move through those blocks with yourself and your true twin flame so much quicker. So check out the link below. So this video, I am going to really just kind of touch on one of the most important aspects of your twin flame union, and that is that your twin flame is your ultimate teacher first and foremost. They're here to teach you. They're here to expand and grow with you. They're here to mirror back to you every place where you're out of alignment with love, but they are also the one person that will mirror back to you all of the love that you give yourself, and you will see that emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. I think that was all of them. I might be missing one in there. So you want to really see and look at what it is that they're bringing up for you. For me, I had to look at the fact that it's much deeper than a surface level thing. So I'll give you an example. That was a really big upset that I worked through for a very, very long time. And this was something that I probably did the mirror exercise around like 50 to 100 times. So if you feel like you keep doing the same mirror exercise, do not give up. They come in layers, and eventually you will get to the core of it. It will dissolve, and then you will get a text message from your twin flame. I'm just hypothetically speaking, this is what happened to me, but you'll get a text message from your twin flame pretty much being like, okay, let's look at this from a different point of view. I want to work through this with you. I want to get to a place of peace with you and ultimately come into harmony with you in this space. So a big one for me was that I have been a single mom for 8 years, and I have never introduced my children to anyone. They've never met a single person that I've ever explored a connection with. And if you had followed my journey, you know that I had 2 false twin flames, and though even them, they never met. And so I would go on like dates with people, and if they weren't at least 80% of my love list, they never made it past a second date. So I really got clear on how to explore connections and learn from them without having to give so much and it not be my person. And that was a really big thing that I had to move through. And so when I finally got to this place of knowing who my true twin flame was, or having this person continuously revealed to me, there came a moment where in our relationship, the next step pretty much was coming together and learning how to harmonize as a family with my children. And I thought in my surface level in my life, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. This is what I want. This is what I desire. But there is a part of me in my core, in my heart, in a space in my aura and vortex that was like, no, we're not doing this. We do not want this. And so my twin flame would be mirroring back to me, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want this. Even though I could feel that that was the complete opposite of what he wanted. I knew he wanted to be with me. I knew that he loved me. I knew that he had feelings for me. But there was this place where he was mirroring back to me deep fear. And so I had to really sit with those aspects of that. And I looked at this from all different angles. I thought it was because I had an upset with my own stepfather. And then I thought I had an upset about being a parent. And I thought I had an upset about allowing a man into my space and leading my family. And so when I finally got to the core of it, it finally came to the surface. And what was revealed was that because when I was younger, it felt like my mother chose her husband over me, which was my stepfather. And the way that made me feel, I apparently at some point in my life made a vow or a promise that I would never allow my children to feel the same way. And what my coach had pointed out to me, if you don't have an Ascension coach, just like Ascension coaches are so important, because I do the work. I literally do the work on a daily basis, and there's still places where I can't see. They're like a blind spot. And so I will always and forever work with a coach, even when I'm married to my twin flame. And it's because when you're with your twin flame, that's when those upsets are really hyphened and in your face. So for those of you who are not with your twin flame, you're like, I just want to be with my twin flame. Like, I don't know if y'all know what you're calling in unless you really have grounded the understanding that your twin flame is your ultimate teacher first. So they will mirror things to you that's like, I've heard people say this all the time. That's not my twin flame. They cannot be my twin flame, because I would never do that to myself. And then we work to the core of it, and then them and their twin flame get to a place of peace together. And that person's like, yeah, I can see why they're mirroring that to me. And I'm like, it's not personal. It's just they're your teacher. So people will literally separate from the twin flame and leave from their twin flame because they do not like what's being mirrored back to you. So if you don't have a coach for this work, then you probably shouldn't be with your twin flame. I don't discourage that. I think everybody should be with their twin flame, and you're going to help people learn what unconditional love is through your union. But you have to be prepared for that spiritually, and that means you got to be doing the work. And so when I looked at this upset about this, it did come down to feeling like my mom chose someone else over me. But in truth, she chose false security. She didn't choose her husband. She didn't choose me. She didn't choose herself. She ultimately chose what that situation gave her, which was a false sense of security. And so when I recognized that it wasn't that my mom didn't choose me, it's that she didn't have the capacity, dear God, the capacity to do that. And that was just where she was at that time. That's okay. Like, she didn't have this work. She didn't know any better. Most of our parents only knew how to just survive. And so I had to forgive her there. I had to have compassion for her and unconditional love for her. I literally had to go back to that time in my mind and in my heart and really kind of have a conversation with her in that space and have a conversation with my younger self in that space. And then I made a new choice that I could allow my divine counterpart to be my divine counterpart, and also to be a father figure to my children, and know that I'm only going to experience love because that's what I'm choosing. And that's also because this is my divine counterpart. This is the person I was created to do life with. And so once I made that core choice, I felt so much lighter. I cried because there was so much coming because it had been stored down for so long. I had so much anger and resentment about it for so many years that just like stored in my body. And then I cleared it. And the next, either that night or the next day, my twin flame was like, hey, like, we need to look at this from a different point of view and like maybe move some chess pieces around, ultimately telling me like, I want to make this work. I want to figure out how to like really be okay with stepping into this role and being with you, because I want to be with you. Like, I do know that I want to be with you. And I was like, oh, look at that. Changing some tunes here, because I healed. He can now reflect the change within me back to me and meet me there because he is my divine counterpart. And this is where a lot of people will get stuck, is that they're just not seeing their twin flame as their ultimate teacher. And you will not be able to experience them being your ultimate best friend, partner, and lover, especially the lover part, if you cannot build trust in the space of them teaching you what you need to know in order to come into alignment for your highest good, come into alignment for you to be the best version of yourself, come into alignment with love in every area of your life. Like, if that is not a divine counterpart, someone who's going to unconditionally love you in those spaces by showing you your shit, I don't want it, okay? Like, people would rather go with the soulmate because they don't have to do the work. That's 100% up to you. You got free will. However, if you are here to be in union with your divine counterpart and you are also their divine teacher, you are mirroring them in every aspect, in every point. It never turns off. And you choose to heal through it together. It is so fulfilling. It is so fulfilling. And the first couple of weeks of my union coming together, well, we got to this point where we're like, why are we always fighting? Like, it felt like we were always fighting, but I was always doing my inner work. And so anytime now when we start to have a fight, I just surrender within myself. I don't give two F's who's right. I just want the truth and I want peace. So I just surrender and I'm like, God, show me the truth about what's coming up here. And then it just like shifts quickly. We just start kind of talking it through, and sometimes we laugh through it and we get through the block, and we're just like, okay, yeah, we see what that was. And then we just feel closer, and then there's more romance, and there's more affection, and there's more love, and we are building trust with each other and a foundation that's unbreakable. And so that was really what I wanted to focus on today, was just sharing with you guys that your union is so worth it. And it may not feel like that right now because you're in the muck. It's like when the lotus flower is being grown, it has to come up from the mud, and then it turns into this beautiful flower. It's what your union is like. And so if you can move through the muck, if you can choose to invest in yourself and invest in your union by doing the inner work, and I have y'all in my comments all the time telling me I'm doing my inner work, I'm not working with the coach, but I'm doing my inner work, and I've been doing it for years and nothing's changing. And then what I'm going to tell you, and this might trigger some of y'all, so be prepared, is that you're not doing the inner work. You may be doing some level of inner work, but you're not doing the deep inner work, and you're not actually changing in this space. Because if you were changing on a core cellular level, you would see your reality shift and change. And I've done this so much and practiced this so much that things shift within minutes. Things will shift very quickly. One of the things that I just am manifesting right now is there's a house that I really desire. Like, I love it. And it's just a tad bit out of our budget. At first it was like almost $50,000 out of our budget. And so I just really said, like, there's this house that I desire and I love it, and I just love that it works for us. I love that it's in our budget. I love that we can have this kind of house. I love that we can have this luxurious looking house for this price. I love that things work in my favor. I love that everything is always coming into alignment for me. And I kid you not, I went to go look at this house today on the app, and they dropped it 40 grand. It's now $10,000 out of our budget. And I'm still like choosing to trust that it's going to somehow become in our budget. And if it doesn't, then there's going to be something that is just as great as that, or even better, that's going to be in our budget. Like, I just know that it's closer because I'm working through my feelings around feeling like I can't have that because it's out of my budget. I can't have that because I don't have enough money. That's all lack mindset. And so I have to work through that consciously on a daily basis. And so the work that you do is not just for your twin flame union. It is for every area of your life. So if you're not working with a coach, I'm here to help you. Or if I'm not the right fit for you, I will help you find a coach. And I also desire to see everyone in their harmonious union, because a world's going to be in such a better place for our future generations if they don't have to move through 50% of the United States moving through divorces, all right? Because they're not with their twin flame. Or they're with their twin flame and they're not doing the work, and they're in upsets all the time because neither one of you are surrendering to love, so the other person can't surrender to love too. So that is just kind of what I want to touch on. My next video is going to be on if you have some resentment towards feeling like you're the only one doing the inner work. That's because you're missing a really big important piece. So do not miss that video. But I know this is helpful. So definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends, because guess what? Even if they may not know it, or maybe they do know it, everyone will eventually be on their twin flame journey, because people desire their ultimate lover. They desire their divine counterpart. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace, love, and faith. Divine union. Bye-bye.